sit in a room for like 4 hours while they reamed my life through a computer to make sure I wasn't, I don't know, John Gotti or something.
Carla.
Yes.
Carla with a K. We're here in San Diego.
America's finest city.
And you're homeless.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Wow, that's broad. Being homeless in San Diego it depends on the person. For me, it's an adventure. My goal at the end of life, if you would, or retirement / end of life, was to start with 1 foot in the Pacific and end with 1 foot in the Atlantic, hitting all of the lower 48.
You're going to have to explain that.
We were just going to zigzag.
Oh, so you're going to travel?
Yeah, walk.
Yeah.
I read this book a long time ago called Walk Across America. A guy wrote it in the 70s, and that's exactly what he did. Now, I mean, he had, hippie commune after hippie commune to stop and stay in. There's not really a whole lot of that now, but my walk is actually to call attention to homelessness and the issues that revolve around it. Yeah. It's actually pretty, I don't even know the word. It's pretty complicated. Like, there's a large group of people that think, oh, people are homeless because they're drug addicts or they're lazy or they don't want a job or, this, that, or the other. It's really kind of a hand-in-hand thing. Most of the drug addicts I know are drug addicts because they don't want to sleep. They don't want to get raped. They don't want to get mugged. They don't want their stuff stolen. They're scared to sleep.
Meth is a perfect homeless drug.
Right.
Because you don't sleep, and heroin is a perfect because you don't care.
Black is the new dope. Like the black is coming into San Diego hard and heavy.
What's that?
Black. Heroin.
Okay.
There
are... That's what I thought you meant. Tar.
Yeah, there are people that are younger than my children, which is really young, that are on the streets slamming heroin. And I don't know where it's coming from.
Well, it's hard to do homeless sober. It messes with your spirit. It messes with your,
See, for me, I think for me, and this was a problem that my children had. For me, it's like that show Naked and Afraid or the survival shows or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You get to see how MacGyver-ish you can be. You get to see how.
Okay, I hear you, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but this is no way to live. You're surviving.
Oh, absolutely
but,
not. You're not even surviving.
So you remember the day you were evicted?
Yes, August 15th.
You were evicted out into the streets?
Yes, for helping the homeless.
Yeah.
I've actually spent my entire life helping the homeless or the underprivileged. My children have spent their entire life volunteering and doing, crab bags for the women's shelter with the kids, on Valentine's Day and things like that. They were required to give all of their toys away at Christmas in order to get new toys, and they would wrap them and go give them to other children. Because, we were a low-income family. I was mom and dad most of the time, and we couldn't go out and buy new toys to give other kids, so we gave them our old ones. I have fostered 2 children whose parents were, independently, not through the state, whose parents were homeless. One of them I actually met while me and my family were in St. Vincent's. Being homeless in San Diego, there's one thing about San Diego that really kicks butt, and that is you are not going to go hungry. Love the people of San Diego because they will come out in droves, even with their children, small children who made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for you and pass out food. The city, however, will do their damnedest to completely and totally annihilate the spirit of these people. They will give them tickets. They will arrest them. They will, make a scene in front of their children. They have started now food lines. Some of them that have been coming for more than 8 years, which is a Mexican. It's actually tonight. You should totally go get a shot. But it's where the blue building that used to be for art, right there at like 16th and oh my gosh, I don't know where the Goodwill is.
16th and oh my gosh, I don't know.
Where the Goodwill is, and they've been doing that for over 8 years. Actually across the street beside the blue building, and the security team that I call them the hashtag team because they work in hashtag like grids.
Yeah. And the business district.
Right.
Yeah.
They started coming and power washing the sidewalk during food line time. At one point, the 16th Island, 15th Market Block, public storage, the sidewalks in that one block were getting power washed 3 times a day.
Where they're feeding.
Right. And deep cleaned at least 4 times a week.
So you are telling me some other stuff that's going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of the mayor, I heard him declare war on the homeless last February. He literally said, it's now time to declare war on the homeless. His PR people came back and said he meant homelessness, but, you know, Freud, whatever. And you can see it in legislation, number 1. You can see it in the development, number 2. I don't know how long you've been coming and going from San Diego, but San Diego used to be really small. Like you could see all the way from, you know, Bankers Hill to...
So you've been here all your life?
No. I haven't been here since 1994 until this stint. But this place, this city, from the moment that I stepped foot in this city, it felt like where I was supposed to be. I spent 20 years trying to come back here, and I get here, and I'm like, oh my God.
It's different.
It's the gates of hell.
Oh my God. So how long have you been here now?
Since March of 2016.
Okay.
And it is, what is it? March of, oh wow, 2009. Wow, I've been here 3 years.
So you're telling me you were in the tent shelter when it flooded?
Yes, Alpha Tent when it flooded. You know, saying things about Mr. McElroy or McElroy or however you choose to say it, depending on where you're from, and his institution are usually detrimental to your housing situation.
I have no idea who that is.
He is the CEO of Alpha.
Okay.
But my goal was never to be housed anyway. I went into the shelter to seek out housing because my daughter...
Well, you gotta say you went in never to be housed, but then you said you're seeking housing.
Well, I was seeking housing. I never wanted to be housed. My daughter, however, who is she's in her 2nd semester, freshman in college, was like, I'm not done with mom and dad time. I want to live at home. I miss you guys. So I went to get housing for her.
Okay. But explain, you didn't go there to get housed.
Right. I mean, I did go there to get housed, but not for myself, for my daughter.
Right. It sounds like you don't want housing.
I would love housing.
Right, that's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I would love housing.
Nobody wants to be homeless.
But it's okay.
Your motivation was for your family.
Right. It wasn't like me being out on the sidewalk. I would have been okay. I mean, I would have made it.
Are you sleeping on the sidewalk?
Yeah. Well, sometimes
That's not
in a
cool.
tent or in a tarp. It's actually really good for your back. It really, really is.
But still,
if the concrete wasn't cold, I think that everybody should sleep on the sidewalk at least once a week.
But then you gotta find places to go to the bathroom. You have the cops moving around. Yeah, I'm sure you're. That's
even
where the
though-
MacGyver mode comes in, right?
Even though, you know, the United States Constitution, it doesn't protect. You know, it does. It protects my right to rest and travel. However, and I'm gonna tell you exactly verbatim what this officer said. I don't know his name. It'd be great if I did, because boy, wouldn't somebody love to call him out. But so I was having an argument with this officer one day about the right to rest and travel, and he was like, well, the right to rest and travel was actually in the Articles of the Confederacy, which was great. I loved that he came back with an actual intelligible response. But so I was like, okay, well, let's just say that we were stupid here in America, so they put it in layman's terms. Any right that's given to you by God because it's necessary for life. It's necessary for life. Food, shelter, rest, travel, and the pursuit of happiness. Why? Because sad people suck. Anyway, he looks at me and he goes, not in San Diego. And I said, are you telling me God has no jurisdiction in San Diego? He said, yes, ma'am.
I don't mean to laugh.
No, that's funny. It's funny.
Right, no, I can, yeah.
But he gave my husband and myself a ticket for encroachment.
So how many tickets do you have?
I only have the one because we try to stick to the. They have a law here. They call it the humanitarian law because it's humanitarian to let people sleep on the sidewalk. Yeah. From 9:30 p.m. to 5 a.m.
So every morning you get rolled up
At 5 a.m. If you don't, you can either get a ticket or go to jail.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And that's humanitarian.
And then you were talking about the rock garden.
Oh, yeah. So, for all the taxpayers out there, you need to do research when you are voting or when you are deciding on legislation because San Diego likes to, what's the word? I can't even think of the word, there's so many. But they like to dress up the truth with, well, a lie. We'll just put it that way. It's like M&M chocolate truth covered with candy coating a lie. You gotta chew through the lie to get to the truth. A lot of you probably voted for the rock garden under the overpasses downtown to beautify the city. Well, let me tell you, the rock gardens that you and I are normally used to going to see do not look like these rock gardens. These rock gardens are jagged, pointy, jackhammered concrete slabs that have been concreted.
They're anti-homeless.
Yeah, they're anti-sleep here crafting, if you will. One of the new pieces of legislation trying to get pushed through is sidewalk enhancement. Just vote no. Just vote no. Let's just say 40-year-olds and rebar through the head don't mix. It's that simple.